Howdy everyone, y'all know it is just me, Pikachu Reacts, and I'm going to react to, excuse me, sorry, I'm cold right now. I'm reacting to Sephiroth versus Bill Cipher, Final Fantasy vs. Gravity Falls Super Smackdown by Smash Bracket. This is a new series to decide to start, and of course the first one was Sephiroth versus Bill Cipher. And it actually got the same rules as always, so I'm not sure who's going to be canonically strong with this one. I mean, I want Bill Cipher to win. And he's very, very, very powerful, Bill Cipher is. But Sephiroth is very strong as well.
This is our very first episode of Super Smackdown, the versus show for the community by the community.
Bill Cipher
was chosen by the user BN on our Discord server. Make sure to join our Patreon.
I think Bill Cipher should win this fight.
The rules for the series are on screen now.
But the thing more about is the supernova attack
With all that in place, let's get into
that Sephiroth can do.
Sephiroth and Bill Cipher to determine who will be the victor and who will fall in battle. Let's get into it.
Bill Cipher will not go down with a fight, that's for sure.
Will kill you and smells like shampoo. If you said the name of today's fighter, then you are correct. Sephiroth is the super soldier experiment from the Shinra Company, who became convinced that the world would be much more to his liking if it was hit with a giant meteor. Since his debut in Final Fantasy in 1997, Sephiroth has grown to be one of the most feared and powerful villains in all of gaming. But his refinement into something
I think the more powerful villain in gaming is Bowser, because he's so friggin' annoying.
He was injected with cells of the alien Genova, with the hopes that it would turn Sephiroth into the savior.
Well, Bowser's so powerful, he's the most persistent villain.
Unlimited power. Unfortunately for them, Sephiroth had a serious identity crisis and became convinced that Genova was his mother. And while I personally think that the resemblance is uncanny, this fixation on his alien pseudo-mother soon turned him to a life of destruction and lots of fire. He became convinced that the only way to truly live up to his potential was to hit the Earth with a giant meteor and then drink up all of its life source to ascend to godhood. Now, a wise man once said,
"There's only one God, man. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that."
But a soldier as fierce as Sephiroth might challenge that perception for even the most devout. Due to his enhancements from Genova, Sephiroth has a variety of incredible abilities, such as superhuman strength, telepathy, teleportation, levitation, and the ability to manifest a single black angel wing that does something. It's kind of unclear. He has a wide variety of spells that he can cast upon his enemies as well. While most magic users in the Final Fantasy VII universe need the assistance of a substance
Also, expect this fight to get weird.
Magic, due to all the
With Bill
knowledge that
Cipher,
he's gained from dying
everything
and
is
falling
weird.
into the life stream, Sephiroth is able to conjure powerful spells without the need of materia, such as Giga Flare, an intense ball of exploding fire. And Sephiroth has a variety of elemental spells that are all no joke. He has fire, ice, lightning, earthquakes, and he can also control concepts like gravity or time.
I don't think sleep will work on Bill Cipher.
Aren't just suited for offense. He can put his targets to sleep, destroy magical and physical shields, reverse stat increases, heal himself, and even teleport out of danger with magic like Exit. Or he can just create his own pocket dimension and hang out there. While in this pocket dimension, Sephiroth can unleash his most deadly attack of all,
Supernova.
With this infamously long move, Sephiroth summons an attack from outside the solar system, which is powerful enough to obliterate planets. He then slams this attack into the sun, causing it to explode and attack his enemies with the intensity of an exploding solar system. And while it initially seemed that Sephiroth was only capable of using this power in his enhanced Safer Sephiroth form, it's since been confirmed that even in his base form he can access this power. And despite the force of exploding a solar system, this still isn't enough to put Sephiroth down. When he uses this move, he just waits for the explosion to reach him and floats there menacingly. But when Sephiroth isn't exploding stars in your face, he's probably brandishing his favorite weapon of all, the Masamune. This 8-foot-long blade not only gives Sephiroth a distinct advantage in combat, but it also packs a serious swing. Just the shockwaves alone from swinging this blade were enough to slice through this giant cannon from a large distance away. Sephiroth has dealt out some serious destruction with his blade, but he's also been on the receiving end of a sword multiple times. He's been impaled no less than 4 times, and has even died 3 of those times. But he just keeps coming back swinging. Sephiroth is also super agile and quick in battle. He's fought some of the fastest characters in his universe without an issue. But the most impressive movement speed he's pulled off is by himself in this scene, where he jumped fast enough to nearly instantly break the sound barrier. What arguably makes Sephiroth the most dangerous, though, isn't his attack intensity or jumping around at the speed of sound. His whole life, Sephiroth has had a special condition called Final Boss of a Long JRPG-itis that causes him to be immune to a huge amount of status effects and conditions.
Mind manipulation.
These include, but aren't limited to, sleep, poison, confusion, time stops, transmutation, paralysis, mind control, and moves that would otherwise cause instant death. So with a character as incredibly powerful as Sephiroth, how does he ever lose?
Instant death?
Much less lose bad enough that he dies multiple times over, in incredibly similar ways. Sephiroth's own downfall is consistently his hubris.
Okay, I got a little something to say about the instant death thing. Bill Cipher could do that, but seeing he's immune, that hurts Bill Cipher a lot.
He views himself as a sort of god, with everyone beneath him.
Bill Cipher is extremely powerful, I'll give him that, because he eradicated the Time Baby in one massive blast. The Time Baby in a small army.
But in spite of this fatal flaw, Sephiroth is one of the most formidable foes in all of gaming, and very few people have seen his blade and lived to tell the tale. Now let's check out his opponent, Bill Cipher.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Close your eyes and picture what you believe an interdimensional demon hell-bent on ruling all of reality looks like. Chances are you wouldn't picture a floating pyramid in a top hat named Bill. But our second fighter for today, Bill Cipher, is all of those things and more. And he certainly isn't somebody to be underestimated. Trillions of years before the events of Gravity Falls, this triangular demon spent his time living in the second dimension, a world which he described as being full of flat minds and flat dreams. So, as a party animal, Bill decided to liven things up by plunging the entire dimension into chaos and burning it, along with every single person that he's ever known, including his own parents. Eventually, though, Bill found a much more fun place to hang out. A lawless, intergalactic pseudo-dimension known as the Nightmare Realm, which looks like an evil lava lamp and smells like burnt hair. Home sweet home. Unfortunately for Bill, this amorphous realm was incredibly unstable and would eventually collapse in on itself unless merged with something a bit more solid and reliable. So Bill moved to a higher dimension, our own third dimension, to bring this fusion of realms into reality, which he dubbed Weirdmageddon. Bill ventured toward the small town of Gravity Falls, Oregon, to partake in one of his favorite pastimes, making deals with humans. Bill manipulated, tricked, and trolled his way to near unlimited power, as any good interdimensional demon should. He can lift giant pyramids in the sky, shoot powerful lasers capable of melting statues, blowing up buildings, or even obliterating small armies of time soldiers and a giant floating time baby, who supposedly weighed over 9 trillion tons, making him over 1,000 times more dense than a dwarf star. He can also back up this attack power with incredible speeds as well, such as in this scene, where he casually jump scares Dipper at over 400 miles per hour. But despite this overwhelming offensive power, Bill's durability is a bit harder to pin down. Obviously, a dimension-destroying demon is going to be in need of some serious fortitude in order to do what he does. But looking at the series, it seems like Bill's best defensive ability isn't his durability itself, but rather regeneration. His physical form's been damaged by having his eye attacked by this improvised treehouse mech suit. But we also know that Bill's capable of being destroyed by this quantum destabilizer used by Ford in Weirdmageddon Part 1. But like I've said, we've seen Bill come back from just about anything he's been hit with, and his exact power limit is ambiguous. It's likely that not even he knows what it is. While trying to persuade a human to make a deal, he's described himself as being capable of seamlessly destroying entire continents with a single finger while drawing a smiley face, and having the capacity to give people their own galaxies, whatever that means. And that's what's so hard to measure about Bill. This ambiguity is exactly where he prefers to operate. He likes to always have several hidden aces up his sleeves, and nowhere is this more obvious than his magical abilities. Bill can stop time, send his opponents to sleep, teleport himself and others, create powerful illusions, perfectly impersonate others, and distort the orientation of his surrounding areas. Some of his most dangerous abilities, though, come from his powerful transmutation.
Those things are all...
He's petrified people.
They're worthless.
Gold, tapestries, and other strange objects. And in one of the most horrifying transmutations of the show, Bill swapped the function of every hole on someone's face. Yeah, that is hard to look at. Bill Cipher is a truly terrifying opponent. But
all his abilities are nullified because of Sephiroth.
He carries himself. Bill is obsessed with being weird, irreverent, and disturbing to all that he comes in contact with, for the sole purpose of his own enjoyment. He cares for nobody but himself, and views the third dimension as his own personal playground. And if you try to stand between Bill and his goals, you can be sure that he will destroy you in the weirdest way possible. So with both of our fighters analyzed, it is time for our fight.
I think I've come idea now of who's going to win. I at first picked Bill Cipher,
and we really
But
need the help to keep it going.
I gotta go with
As of recording
Sephiroth,
this
'cause
video, we have about $1,000 left in order to raise funds for the series.
I just
And
don't
there
think
are
he
a
can
lot
do
of
it.
cool rewards for backers, including choosing your very own custom episode of the
I
show.
want Bill to win,
So
but
check it
I
out
just
if
don't
you
think he
wanna help support
can.
the channel or choose your own battle. With all that said and done, let's take a look at today's fight between Bill Cipher and Sephiroth to figure out who will come out on top.
I want someone to get revenge on Bill. I want someone to get revenge on
Watch drumming tutorials with that
Sephiroth for
Wi-Fi.
murdering
Enjoy
Mewtwo.
uninterrupted.
If someone could do it, Bill Cipher could. I thought. But after hearing everything about Sephiroth, this is gonna be a problem. Oh, I want epilepsy. Hey there, Sephi.
2000ギル分の人間の歯をかかるぞ。俺の呪文はエロニクスか少しの中のオーナーです。長くそうは面白くない。当てあげようと思ったのに。これはマティリアじゃない。
Wow, that's cold. Even for me. And nobody likes cold pizza. Hey, you want to see my impression of you dying? Yeah, that's the one. Wow, chicken wing. I've been through that 4 times. Really takes a toll on the old liver.
What did you do to my voice?
You're welcome. And now that you're speaking my language, we can finally get down to business. Whoa, wait, hold on.
This must be Hojo's latest pet.
Stop ignoring my hospitality.
Phil, enough of this.
And out comes the chicken wing. You know, if you're gonna manifest a giant useless lamb, you should probably go for something more stylish. I think somebody needs a lesson in presentation. Yahoo!
Hey, Mario. I said this was gonna get weird.
Onward, my army of leaves. He's easily surprised by large swords.
You're testing my patience. Enough of your tricks.
You're too slow. Come on, I was using that one. It wasn't supposed to die until January.
You don't seem to understand just how insignificant you are. You're a child playing God. It's time to cut you down to size.
Size, huh? Thanks for the tip. Got it, chicken wing. I thought you were just a nice smelling head of hair with mommy issues, but now you're really starting to anger my ankles. And since you don't want to do this the fun way, I guess we're gonna have to do it the weird way.
Time has come to burn.
Supernova. Oh no. Bill.
Suffer. Mozzarella mamade.
God damn it.
And there you go. Bill Cipher was an incredibly dangerous opponent, but Sephiroth just had answers for everything that he could throw at him. He resisted most of Bill's most dangerous powers, such as transportations, time stops, and he could even teleport out of whatever dark dimension that Bill tried to trap him into. Sephiroth is also much faster and more durable than Bill, especially when accounting for his ability to slow down his opponents, shield himself, and heal himself. Bill is commonly perceived as an all-powerful, omnipresent god who's capable of breaking the fourth wall into our dimension and even destroying all of reality as we know it. Which, by the way, I think coming from the second dimension actually makes him a lower dimensional being rather than a higher dimensional being, but that's neither here nor there. And while it is clear that Bill is powerful, he also clearly has limits on that power. He can be temporarily damaged by things much slower and weaker than Sephiroth. Even if we took Bill at his word for his self-described ability to bite planets in half as an accurate portrayal of his strength, he still just doesn't stand a chance against Supernova. With this attack, Sephiroth is outputting an intensity of 33.49 zetawatts per centimeter squared. That's over 19,000 times the energy that the sun provides to our entire planet, put across every square centimeter of your body, which, for reference, is about the size of a thumbtack. And Supernova aside, even a casual slice of Bill from the Masamune would be outputting 373 megawatts per centimeter squared, which is like hitting Bill with half the power of a nuclear reactor channeled into a sword across every square centimeter of his body. This is way more than what we've seen capable of damaging Bill before, and it would likely be enough power to match similar levels of output as the Quantum Destabilizer gun. In the end, Sephiroth was just faster, stronger, and more durable than anything that Bill has ever demonstrated. And he could also withstand or completely negate Bill's most dangerous magical abilities. So when all is said and done,
Damn it.
Sephiroth is the winner of this round of Super Smackdown.
Who's the next fighter?
Coming up on Season 1 of Super Smackdown.
Coming up, Mario vs. Sonic, Gengar vs. King Boo. Some people I don't know. Dr. Eggman, whatever that guy's name, I forgot what it was from Phineas and Ferb. Who's next up exactly? Because it's into it. You know, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And plus, there's no extra thing in this because it just hasn't been released yet. I don't think there's no alternate ending. So, bye.